What is going on? Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing this morning? Oh, geez. I am tired. Man, I am tired. How are you guys doing? Let me see if chat's working. 1 second. Butts. There's a quick butts in chat. Yes! Yes, we are here. Good morning, guys. Welcome. I know I look fantastic. I have the hood on, mostly A, because it's cold, and B, because I'm hiding my horrible bed hair, because I just rolled out of bed. But other than that, you know the shtick. Just getting things set up behind the scenes as per usual. Copy that, URL. Who is in chat? Who's hanging out with me here? Who's chilling? You guys chilling with me on a cold winter morning before a charity game? Oh boy. I hope you are. I'm hanging out here. I got my coffee, as you can see. It's lukewarm. Because this is Dice Coffee. Lindy, thank you for the host. Good to see you this morning. I hear you might be here for the D&D stuff. I hear that might be happening. Stalwart Initiative chilling with the butts. That is a good place to be, my friend. That is a good place to be. You're awake? So am I. Barely. Kinda. It's all good. Welcome. Just hanging out here, doing the Dice Coffee thing. Just hanging out with you guys. Getting on the awake train to Awakesville. Speaking of awake, but the Daubers last night was fun. Hope you guys caught it. If you didn't, you should just definitely go check it out. Also, if you have not already, gonna take the train to Napville later. That's a good plan. I am probably gonna follow that plan. Don't see a game in the info? Huh. Let me check the thing here. Whoop, that's not what I want. The game should be Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing D&D. This is not D&D right now. This is just me hanging out. This is Diced Coffee. This is just what I do. Sometimes when I just want to hang out with people, just kind of chill while Grant is in the background getting things set up for the game. But in just a little bit, in about 15-20 minutes or so, we should be getting on with the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. We're going to be doing our second community game, D&D for Charity. If you guys don't know, this whole month is DICEMBER, our charity event. We've got a ton of stuff going on, a ton of cool things. We've got major, quote unquote, celebrity games every Friday. We have community games, during the week. And we have other crazy cool events going on. All of that, of course, is raising money for St. Jude for Kids! !Charity in the chat if you want to see the information about that. And you can see all of the ways that you guys can help out. You can influence the game. All of that going towards the charity thing. Also, if you want some other cool stuff you can check out, you should definitely do. I highly suggest retweeting that tweet right there. That is a good tweet that I suggest you guys retweet. It will have a lot of information about what makes this morning in particular special. Man, I just talked myself up a storm. I need a tissue, is what I need. But how are you guys doing? How are all you? You guys hanging out? You guys awake this morning? You guys doing good? I hope you are. I am. I'm doing good-ish. We got Razor Coast tonight, which is I'm really looking forward to. Razor Coast is gonna be a lot of fun. I gotta shave. I was gonna go get a haircut, but apparently it's snowing out, so that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Jesus. Just checking Discord while I'm here. You loved what you've seen of Razor Coast? It is a lot of fun. The cast is fantastic. I hope that I can do a good job of taking them through an exciting adventure. I've been really enjoying doing the prep for that game with chat. We do about 2 hours of prep a week. And like, I don't know, it's like 20 to 30 people generally come out in chat and help me create NPCs and quests and locations and connections and cool things. And so they're really helping to flesh out that world. And, you know, it's just awesome. I'm really enjoying it. If you guys don't know what Razor Coast is our pirate. It's an all-female pirate campaign. Just meant a D&D session. Listed before the 9 p.m. tonight. Unwrapped Gaming plugged your charity games, so I thought I'd swing over. Oh, okay. Oh, I got people jumping in the call. Yeah, I'm supremely grateful for whoever plugged the thing. It's yeah, so 9 p.m. Eastern is the Razor Coast game, but at 9 a.m., which is or a little after thereafter, we're going to be doing a game here, which we're going to be hanging out for. Hopefully you guys will be enjoying that. We're going to be tweeting about that in just a bit. I'm going to mute myself in Zoom, which is going to be some cool stuff. Sorry if I seem a bit scatterbrained. I'm doing a bunch of stuff behind the screen. But definitely props to whoever shouted it out. This morning, and we're going to talk about some stuff when we kick off, but this morning we are going to be doing a charity D&D one-shot. We have community one-shots 3 times a week run by the fabulous Papa Grant. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I'm on stream right now. Just talking to myself mostly. No, it actually is. I green screen in the green screen. Yeah. Streaming at 10 p.m. so you can't make Razor Coast, but you can hang out. Well, thank you for hanging out. Don't worry about not missing Razor Coast. It is a ton of fun, but of course, you know, you can always catch it on the VOD, on the video on demand, or on YouTube. I mean, you know, we love having people hang out and chat, but I do not begrudge anyone for not being able to make it. That's why we have VODs. Excuse me. Excuse me, man. Hold on, I got one more. That's what we need. We need a sneeze stream. So many sneezes. Yeah, I am honestly, I don't care whether people watch it in live or VOD, as long as they're enjoying it. It is great content. And do a tissue of holding. Oh, geez, that just sounds disgusting. That just sounds horrible. That sounds like the worst thing ever. Let me put this here. All right. So I'm moving some stuff around in the background. Speaking of that, how are you guys doing? How is your? Are you guys playing any D&D? Is anything anything going on with you guys? You guys just chilling? I would love to hear if you guys are playing any D&D campaigns. That'd be really cool. I love hearing about other people's games. Whoop. Gotta move Grant. Alright, where is chat? Chat is here. Man, I got so many voices talking to me. I am going to mute Zoom. Let me see if this does anything. No, doesn't do anything. Okay. All right. Volume mixer. All right, there. Now I got Zoom muted, so I don't have to hear 1,000 people talking in my head. So what's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing? You guys chilling? I know I say that a lot, but I'm just kind of rambling as I'm setting up. So I hope you guys don't mind the little insight into my last minute weirdness. I have some cool stuff to announce. I'm going to announce it when we actually go live. I have some really cool stuff to announce about other charity events that are happening, because of course this isn't just like a single day of charity. This is an entire month, and the only way I know how to make an entire month great is to do just crazy ridiculous stuff. Oh, that's the most adorable thing. It's just a baby elephant sitting on someone's lap. I love it. I love it. Where are we? Where is chat? Chat is here. Running an online community and just DMing in the game shop last night. Only one of our community that streams our stuff so far. Are you the sole streamer? So this is my channel. I run the Exploding Dice channel. Grant, who is going to be the dungeon master for today, is not what I call a regular on the channel. Like we actually just met very recently at PAX Unplugged, but he decided to help me out with this whole charity event. I was working on this event before I met him, but he has helped kind of make it what it is. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of D&D streamers I know, and I work with tons of D&D streamers. I actually don't know much about the people who are playing today, because they are all new. They're all collected by Grant. He was the one who was handling all the community game stuff. So these are all new people, new faces. All right, let me unmute this just a little bit so I can hear things. What are you running at the game shop, man? What do you got going on over there? Anything cool? All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put us on a couple minute countdown as I go and tweet some stuff out, and hopefully we'll be back here in just a couple minutes and kick things off. If you guys don't go anywhere, we're not going offline. We are just going on a slight countdown. I was most I for it's I'm talking to two different groups. It's weird. You will forgive my dual attention spans. Busy playing Path of Exile. Yeah. All right. So here we go. I mean, I'll do that. I'll do that after stream. Uh. All right. Whoa. Whoa. Hey now. Okay. So, I'm gonna keep talking to you guys. I'm gonna have to mute that. Whoa. I got some crazy buzzing going on. Someone on Zoom is not having a good time with their mic. Didn't know many other streamers that don't streamed this early. Normally we don't. This is not our normal time slot. But there is a European world, so I'm sure they appreciate the early content. Just one shot to the game shop for now. Rourke, what's going on, by the way? Good to see you as always, my friend. To get a steady group of players, that can be tough, man. Getting what's this morning's game about? Does anyone know? I will venture a guess to say Grant is running another instance of Maze of the Blue Medusa, but I will let him actually talk about that once we get into the game itself. All right, I'm gonna go tweet out that we're live, and then we're gonna go on a countdown for a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
was a legend.
One. Hello and welcome everyone to another fantastic, what is today? Thursday. I am so out of it. Thursday here on the Exploding Dice channel. My name is Askren. I am your host, and we are back for more of our DICEMBER Charity month of streaming. This morning, of course, we are bringing you another community one-shot game run by the very own, our very own Grant Ellis, who is, of course, hanging out with me, and another cast of community players. Some cameras are in the wrong place, so I'm gonna go ahead and move those around, because people are not who they're supposed to be, and that is a problem. You guys need to stop being other people.
I was going to say, I identify as Laugh Love Lindy, and it's my right.
Like, culturally, or...
Oh, we're just one and the same.
Well, first of all, before we dive into all of our I guess, theatrics and announcements and all that, let's talk to our players. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Well,
awake.
Good to hear it. That is as enthusiastic as I am expecting anyone to be at 9 in the morning. Of course, and then we have Grant. Grant, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent. I'm excited to run another community game, and I'm particularly excited for this game because I hear the legendary pants will match each donation dollar for dollar up to $300 today. So we have an opportunity to raise lots of money for our St. Jude charity, which is particularly exciting.
We really, really do, and that is fantastically exciting. Speaking of that, that is a good segue into let me explain what exactly is going on if this is your first time here. If it's not, well, before I do that, first and foremost, if you guys have not already, make sure you hit that retweet link. Dice Thulu has it for you right there in chat. You can tell all your friends on Twitter and out in the world as a whole that you're hanging out with us this morning, and that music is far too epic for announcements. Let's put on something else. What else? Speaking of donations, Shadzar has linked in chat. We are doing all of this for charity. This whole month is for St. Jude's, and we are raising money by letting you mess with our games. You can see right above me, on that corner. Right there, it's up there in the corner of the screen. You can see all the donation effects that you can do. They're also in chat. No music on this end, that's because it's real quiet, I guess. But of course, you can donate for inspiration, nat 20s, wild magic surges, deck of many things, all kinds of stuff that you can give our players, or you can give to the DM if you want to mess with everyone. And of course, all of that is going right back to St. Jude's. Speaking of all of that, if you guys want to see what we have raised so far, the bar is down below. We have raised at this point over $2,200 for St. Jude's, $2,239.69 to be exact. But we're hoping to kick that way up by the end of the month. Not only can you donate to affect the game, but also if you guys want to help support the channel and also get some cool stuff, we are doing giveaways for subscription goals. We have set a goal of 100 sub points by the end of the month, and if we hit our first goal for today, which I don't know, it's always just a fun extra thing. I'm gonna be giving away some cool stuff for the people who are hanging out with us in chat. So we'll figure out what exactly is going to be given away. I don't know. I have a ton of stuff. Speaking of donations, every $10 going to St. Jude's will get you a raffle ticket, entering you to win one of a mountain of prizes that we have sitting in my guest room just across the hallway. Everything from D&D and Pathfinder and like other kinds of rule books. I have some sitting next to me. Monty Cook has just sent me a ton of Numenera starter sets and box sets. We have dice. We have Wormwood Gaming, Elderwood Gaming. We have just way too much stuff for me to name. Of course, you can see Monty Cook Games, Elderwood Academy, and Easy Roller Dice are all major sponsors of the event, as well as Sirenscape and a few other companies providing their support and products for giveaways and just for you guys to enjoy. As you know, we are also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, so thank you to them for helping put this on. That's pretty much it. I don't really have any other major announcements. We're going to talk about other stuff that's going on with the event later. I think now I'm just going to disappear, and I'm going to hand things over to Grant, and Grant is going to take us on another wonderful adventure as I vanish from here and reappear in chat, where I will be hanging out with you guys. So Grant, take it away, my friend.
All right. Well, Marley was dead to begin with. As dead as a coffin. No, we're not going to do Dickens here. We're not going to do a Christmas Carol. Why don't we go around with our cast of community players, starting with a good friend of mine and my actual dungeon master, Mr. Brian Ross, and go ahead and introduce yourself and your character to our viewers.
Well, I'm Brian Ross. As Grant said, I'm his DM for one game. I'm been playing D&D since 8th grade, I think it was, many eons ago. But this is actually my first time doing a live stream, so I'm really excited. I am playing Bata Lidia. He's a halfling druid who's an auxiliary to the under-sheriff of Freebrook.
How does his tartan look? Can you show me the pattern for the viewer? No, I'm just kidding. And Matthew, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience? Let everyone know who you are and the character you'll be
sure.
on the stream today.
I'm Matthew Stanford. I'm one of the developers for Legendary Pants, and today I will be playing the half-orc monk named Hitesh. He is on a quest to reclaim his people's heritage and to gain strength in order to fight back against the Dragonborn Scourge.
And the player of 1,000 voices, Miss Laughlove Lindy, go ahead and introduce yourself and the character you'll be playing today.
Yeah, I go online by Laughlove Lindy, and I will be playing the Dragonborn Scourge today, known as Bridget McIntyre, and she is a silver Dragonborn bard with a penchant for limericks who plays both the triangle and the tambourine.
She's a percussionist. How marvelous. And Mr. Davian Phillips.
I'm going to be playing a elf named Brenna, an elf ranger who was ostracized as a youth, has lived out in the woods, and takes up bounties.
Can you give me your armor class and passive perception, please?
Both are 14.
Cool. We have the eyes and ears of the party. So let us begin with a very slow start, because that's how I like to start adventures. A nice slow crawl. So light rain is falling as our party of heroes is escorting a wagon. In fact, they're driving it and escorting it. It's a wagon full of produce. And this produce is being delivered to the village of Fairbrook from the capital city of Seawall. And it is very important that this produce be delivered to Fairbrook, because Fairbrook is suffering from local famines. Their farmlands have been under attack recently. There's rumors that art thieves have invaded the town. They stole a famous painting, which was the last charity game for our returning viewers. And our gang of heroes are traveling down the road. Now, a tree has fallen across the road in the way of the wagon, and 6 bandits, men in black cloaks, and women as well, have come up out of the ditches, and they've pointed crossbows at the wagon and explained, "Your weapons and your belongings, and leave the wagons with us. In the name of the Nightblades, leave it all and we'll spare your lives." So what does the party do? First off, who's driving the wagon? One of you has to. Any volunteers?
Yes, sure I am.
All right, so Damien's in the front of the wagon. Now, who's in the rear watching the produce?
I can keep an eye on the produce.
All right, so Hitesh has eyes on the produce. And then I will assume that Bata and Bridget are, I'm going to say Brigitte, but this is not a French dragonborn, are riding alongside, was it Rena? Trying to make sure I got your character's name correctly. Damien. Brenna?
Drenna with a D.
Got it. So, why don't we do a roll for initiative? We'll have Lindy, why don't you roll for the front of the wagon? Go ahead and roll 1d6 for me. And then Matthew, roll 1d8 for the back of the wagon. This is a variant system that I've been using in some of my games. Lows go first, and then I'll roll for the bandits.
While they are doing that,
So we're going to have the bandits are going to go first. Currently, they're readying their action, and they're waiting for you to make a decision.
While they're doing that, I just want to give a quick thank you to Stalwart Initiative for the $2 donation for the kiddos. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. So, what does the front of the wagon do? So we have 3 of you in the front and then 1 of you in the back. In fact, why don't we move the camera to the rear of the wagon? So you've heard this go down, Hitesh. You're in the back of the wagon. They're unaware of your presence right now.
Okay, is the wagon covered then?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and there's no one that I can see from the back?
You can definitely see past the people. There's no one that's come up around behind the wagon.
Okay, that was my question. Okay, then I will ready my action to kind of hit anyone who comes out the front or who comes within range of me.
Around rear.
But otherwise, I'm gonna let our driver take the lead on this.
What would you be hitting them with?
I'm sorry, I'll ready a dart.
Okay, you have a dart ready. And no need to apologize. I just ask a little so I can picture it in my head as you ready your dart and are defending to protect the watermelons, which is the most popular produce that is grown in the kingdom of Tyr Royale. And those in the front, Halfling, the Dragonborn, and was it an elf?
Yes, it was an elf.
Okay, and the elf. So
Who was it that spoke?
It was a tall man in the front, and you notice as he spoke, he licked his lips while he talked, and he has a pointy gray beard, salt and pepper hair, and a unibrow right across the center of his head.
Is he on my side of the wagon or the other side?
He's on your side.
How far away is he?
He's about 25 feet.
Excellent. Thorn whip.
Okay, you're cracking him in the head. Got it. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh.
And as you're doing that, the bandits are firing their ready action. So there's each character's getting shot at twice. So you managed to thorn whip him, and the rest of the bandits are shooting. So it looks like one shot at Lindy, one got a 20 to shoot our wagon driver, one got a 6 to shoot at Brian, one got a 21 to shoot at Lindy, another one got a 22. So it looks like the driver's going to be hit twice. And then, do you have your shield out, Brian?
No.
Bata. Okay. Armor class 17. So it looks like Brenner, you've been hit twice. Bridget, you've been shot once, and Bata, you've also been shot once. So each of you can mark off 5 hit points for each time that you were shot. So that's 10 for the driver, 5 for the other 2 of you. But you've also hit with your Thorn Whip, because they were readying their action. They had 1 initiative, and as soon as the fight broke out, they all fired. But now he's been whipped. What did you get for your roll to hit?
Oh, I got 17 to hit.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
22, sorry, right? 22 to hit.
All
does
right,
5 points
so
of piercing.
roll damage. Okay, so that knocks him down.
I drag him 10 feet forward.
Yep, and he's bloody. You pull him right up to the wagon, and he's like, he's about 10 feet away from the wagon now. So next, Bridget, what would you like to do? They've all fired at you.
How close together are they?
They're pretty clumped up. They're about in a file, so you could say in a
Like a 20-foot
they formed about 20
diameter?
Yeah, they'd all fit in 20 feet across.
Then I'm going to be like, oh, you're all ugly and you're stopping the wagon. We've got to get produce to these poor people, and I'm just going to shatter them.
Okay. Do they make a con save?
They do.
Okay, so it's just a straight D20 roll for them. What's the spell DC?
A
Take up
13.
12. All right, they failed, so they're going to take full damage.
I'm going to be like, you're not being very nice, so I'm not going to be very nice.
They most. Oh, and that's 10 points of shatter damage?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That'll do it. You've managed to take out these armed bandits, and they fall to the ground. As they shatter, their weapons break as they fall. One of them was wearing a mask. His mask shatters, and they just all fall in a bloody heap on the ground. Such is the magic of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, did I accidentally? I didn't mean to kill all of them. I'm sorry, but I guess they were prohibiting our job. So yeah, okay, good.
All right. So what would the party like to do now? Everyone, Hitesh in the back, you just hear a loud cracking noise, and then you just hear bodies dropping to the floor, and then an eerie quiet.
Well, I'll kind of snort and put my dagger or my dart back into my my belt.
Yes. She's done this before. All right, what would the rest of the party like to do? Carry on the way, clear the road of the tree, because it is in the way.
Hopefully the shatter weakened it a little bit, so maybe we can break it up into chunks.
Yeah, it's in the road, but it would be fairly quick to clear. You're thinking maybe a 3 or 4 minute job.
Okay, yeah. Bridget will start clearing that and moving the bodies aside, like sorry, like to each corpse she moves.
I'll help her do that.
All right, yeah. So the party gets out, and Hitesh, can you remind me what your race was? Are you half orc?
I am half orc, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, could tell by the naming convention. That's what helps me in this setting. All right, so you help clear the road. Takes almost no time, and a dragonborn and a half orc working together. I mean, in this setting, if you can make that happen, you can achieve world peace. Short work to clear the road, and then it's about a 3-hour journey to the village of Fairbrook. There's several buildings of note. There's a big house. There's a almost not quite a castle, but a castlette in the distance. It looks like there was once a fine edifice that was built that's on a high hill. There's a large house that's off the main road. There's a series of shops, some other small houses, and there is a what appears to be a market selling produce in the center of town. Now, you know that this delivery was supposed to go to the Lord Mayor of the town, and so she will decide how to divvy this up. So where would you like to go as a party?
Is the town hall easily visible?
There's a town hall's not easily visible, but
Okay.
there is the castle keep. There doesn't appear to be a town hall, but there is a building that has a sword and a lion above it, and you know that is the emblem of Tir Royale's local police authorities. So they dispatch various sheriffs from the main capital city to these villages. So you've at least spotted the law enforcement. Where would you like to go?
Have all the supplies already been taken up from the wagon?
Have all the supplies been picked up?
Have they been taken out of the wagon to be transported?
They're all currently still in the back. You have a bunch of produce.
And is the wagon at the stables?
You haven't taken it to any stables yet. You're not too sure yet, or you haven't declared where you've managed to take it in town. So you're bringing it down the road, and now you have brought it into the village of Fairbrook, or you're coming up on Fairbrook.
Is the stables readily available? Have an open stall?
Yeah. There are stables in town, and you can take it there. There's also a mercantile that it could be taken to, but there is a stable in town that has 3 individuals. They all look similar. In fact, one of them's female. There's two males, but if you don't look at them too hard, it looks like they all have the same face. They're all roughly the same height. They all have ginger hair.
Race are they?
And they're all at the stable.
I'm gonna pull the cart into the stable, drive it that way.
Okay, leading it up to the stable. So the 3 individuals say, all right, you can keep your horse here for a gold a day. What you carrying? What's your cargo? Where you headed?
We are carrying supplies for is it the mayor? What is his name?
Oh, this is the food delivery. This is a food delivery. Oh, well, hey, we won't charge you to keep the horse here, but you need to take this directly to the keep.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and thank you. Food's here, guys. Food's here, and they start.
We probably should have just headed straight to the. Let's go. Before we get mobbed.
And I start pulling towards the keep then.
All right. Yeah, there are some hungry townsfolk about as you pull across in front of the building that has the sword and the lion. You notice a fair woman's standing on the porch. She's smoking a long pipe. She has very fine features, long gray hair, and she kind of eyeballs you as you head up to the keep, and she nods knowingly as you pass her. And as you pull up to the keep, there are 4 guards, and the guards halt your wagon and then recognize the produce. They're like, thank you. Visitors from the king, visitors from Seawall, food for the people. Wonderful. We'll let the lady know that the shipment has arrived, and we'll see that you get paid in due time. I assume everything's accounted for, and they're kind of inspecting the watermelon. Some hold them up to their ears, percussing them with their fingers, listening to the delicious fruit on the inside. What do you do as a party?
That's a good question. Well, I suppose we probably make sure that they get through the gates of the keep just fine. And then maybe go get like a celebratory drink at an inn.
All right, so there's an inn in town, but there's also a tavern. So would you like to get a drink at the inn, or would you like to go to the tavern?
Taverns generally have the better drink.
All right.
I say knowingly.
Yeah. Half orc would know. What is your half orc's favorite beverage?
Just a really hearty ale that's very hoppy.
It's got to have the hop in it. Is there anything extra that he likes to put in it that wouldn't a human or a dragonborn wouldn't typically?
Well, it's cold where we're from, so we tend to brew it a little stronger, and we warm it.
All right. So there is a tavern. Now, it's under a tall tree. In fact, it's under a tall series of trees. The tree branches actually go over the tavern. Not safe if there's a storm. And there is the emblem of the tower is a tree over a mug of ale, and inside the tavern there are a couple of individuals already day drinking. There's an elderly man, bald head, fiery beard that's a mixture of gray and red and blonde. Big burly guy, broad shoulders, and he's sitting at a table. Across from him is a dwarf, and they appear to be having some sort of business discussion, looking at papers, books, notations as you come into the room. Their eyes sort of glance at you and then go back to themselves as they continue to discuss their business. There is a halfling going around serving drinks. There's another halfling who's sitting at the bar, willing to prepare drinks. And there are also 3 or 4 humans who are getting absolutely hammered at a table, playing a game of cards. What would you like to do as a party?
Let's get the table.
All right. You know, the halfling going around serving drinks says, anywhere you'd like, except at the card game in the back.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. So you get a table, and he goes, what kind of drinks will you be having today?
Oh, could I get a whiskey, please?
Well, we can do that. Of what variety? The local Fairbrook or imported from Seawall?
Well, let's do local.
We've got the finest for the. Well, if you don't mind me asking, what's a dragonborn doing down this far?
Oh, we were just doing a delivery for the Lord Mayor.
Oh, I see. In fact, you may have heard Lord Mayor. People call her that because she's a little mannish in the face, but she is a lady.
Oh, apologies.
Pronounced Adam's apple, large hands. It's just the way she was born. And then he goes, all right. Whiskey for the table. Anyone else drinking anything else?
I'll have a glass of milk.
All right. Milk from the local dairy? Or the old
Ask
stuff
him what he recommends.
My recommendation is water if you want to live long and drink a lot, because that doesn't cost a fair bit. But I do recommend, we have a local wine that is quite delicious. And Lord knows where it came from, but every now and then a tall gray man, thin, brings it. And he won't tell us where it comes from. He likes to keep his secret. And as he's discussing this, the woman that you saw earlier with the gray hair and the gray hair and fair skin, smoking a long pipe, comes in. And she puts her pipe out before she comes in. And she says, Are the wagoners here, the delivery folk here.
Aye, that's us.
Which of you's the leader of the lot?
Oh, that's me.
She tosses you a bag of silver. The bag has about 15 coins in it, and she goes, but here's a little extra from me, and she throws out 6 gold for each of you that she's paying out of her own pocket. She says, "Are you the ones that did in those night blades?"
All the people blocking the road with the big tree log. Yeah, that was us too. They wouldn't let us take the wagon through. We had to deal with them. I didn't mean to kill all of them. It was an accident.
You killed all of them.
I mean, there was she's gonna start counting them.
Yeah, but 6. Yeah, you yourself alone killed 6
Well,
of them.
he got one with a thorn whip, and she's gonna.
Are you, my dear friend, trained in the druidic arts? And she looks at Bata.
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. A local from around here, or you journeyed here from far?
I'm from north of here.
North. Pigton?
Yes.
Fine place, Pigton. Good pork, good swine. And that's what she says. She's just sort of chatting you up, but you notice Hitesh being bred for war. You notice that she is sizing you guys up, not in a threatening way, but almost in a pleading way, where she's looking for help. And she says, and she goes, "And what brings a Tindolfer?" And she calls the half-orc a Tindolfer, the proper name for that species here in this world. She goes, "And what brings a Tindolfer down from the lands of the north and the kingdom of Banner to Tyroyal?"
Knowledge quest from the monasteries.
Knowledge quest. I have a favor to ask you guys. She goes, "Are you looking for more work? Rather, would you be interested in earning some coin? Could really use your help." And they say no, and that ends the adventure.
No, we're good. Just drinking here. I've got some performances to do. No, she's gonna look around at the rest of her group, like, I think that's it. I think that's a yes.
You seem to be quite good at dealing with these bandits. You know, I've heard that they stay in a keep not too far from here, about 7 miles up the road. And if just one of you could take out 6 of them, well, there couldn't be more than 10 of them there on site. You do it with these bandits. We'll see that you're rewarded by the mayor. We'll see that this Tindolfer gets the knowledge he seeks. We'll see that you are well paid. I mean, what's the going rate these days for sell swords? 30 gold a day? I'll pay
Sure.
50.
Well, that's even better.
Oh. Yeah, that's what she says. And she's very emphatic on it. And she goes, "Yeah, you see these bandits, not only have they been plaguing the road, they've also been kidnapping some folk. We're not too sure what they've been doing."
Kidnapping.
What's your name, young halfling?
My name is Bata. Bata Ledir.
Bata Ledir. Roll a percentile die for me, Bata.
I don't have that plugged in.
Go ahead and roll 1d100.
58.
58. She says, "Do you know a Hilda Ledir?" And you do. You have a cousin named Hilda.
Oh, yes, I do. That's my cousin. have
She
many
went
cousins.
missing about a week ago.
We must.
Yeah,
do
so your
this.
cousin has been. Yes, she was local. She worked here in the tavern. Yeah, so you do have a relative. She goes, 50 gold to each of you if you can deal with these so-called night blades. Now, I warn you, a dangerous criminal, a dangerous murderer, should be leading them by the name of Sindel. About 30 years back, he killed a good 20, 24. We lost count after a while. He came into town one night and he butchered the lot, all on his own. And these new Nightblades, they seem to be imitators, but we're worried that he's returned and he's raising a plague of thieves, bandits, and murderers.
No. To have thieves and murderers is bad enough, but for them to be contagious. That's
Lions
even
and
worse.
tigers and bears, oh mine! Lions and tigers
A whole
and bears.
plague of them.
It's
Terrible.
a bit melodramatic, don't you think?
Oh, she is a performer. You can tell by the way she dresses. It says,
You're so smart.
yeah, and she speaks up. She goes, "Well, what is the typical manner of Dragonborn performance?" She lights her pipe again and smokes it. She goes,
Well, I'd say that my typical performance is a bit unorthodox as far as Dragonborns go, but
"Do you know any rhymes?"
do I know any rhymes? All right, I've got one. She's gonna scoot her chair out dramatically, stand up. She's gonna take her shot of whiskey.
I'm gonna roll my eyes preemptively.
I'll give you a sample of what the typical Dragonborns think about my music, and I'm gonna pull out my triangle and go ding. My neighbor came over to say, although not in a neighborly way, that he'd knock me around if I didn't stop the sound of the boisterous music I play, and then I get my tambourine and I dance.
Oh, nice! And then she cracks up. She claps too. She's like, "Good show, good show." You should come back at nighttime, and I think me and old Haggis over there could arrange for you to do a whole routine, work a whole set. About how long can you go? Can you fill an hour?
Oh, can I fill an hour?
Well, tell you what. Deal with these Nightblades. Come back at nightfall tomorrow. We'll give you an hour, and you keep 80. The house takes 20. What does that sound like, Haggis? And the halfling bartender goes, "Aye, fair deal."
All right.
And drinks. We want drinks too.
Yeah, they bring over all of your drinks and they serve you guys, and then the lady sheriff, Bethany Willow, takes care of your tab, and she goes, "This group, they're on me." So, you've agreed, it sounds like, to deal with the lions and tigers and bears plague of thieves, murderers, and scoundrels. When would you like to set out? Now, they've said that they're in a keep a few miles northwest of here, but you might need more information than that.
That would probably be smart. So, who do you think would know more about this, you guys?
Now, you've got a large man and a dwarf dealing business in the room, and you also have a group of drunkards playing cards in the back.
What kind of business are the man and dwarf doing? Can we tell?
It appears the dwarf is proposing that he invest in a mining operation. Dwarves speak loudly so you can hear him clearly. Invest in my mines! It's a good deal! And he's like, shh. I don't want everyone to know.
Is that card games going on in the back?
Yeah, there's a card game going on in the back. What about it?
Can you tell by games being played?
Yeah, they're playing Three Dragon Ante. They look at you and they ask if they go, "Oh, Brother Elf, would you like to be dealt in?"
I've not known how to play.
Oh, then you definitely should take a seat. And they pull out a seat. And a couple of them whispers, I think I saw the sheriff pay them some coin too. All right, we're going to teach you how to play the cards. The back of the cards face your eyes. The front of the cards face us. And you just have to know what you have. You notice all their cards are facing the other way. Eh?
I turn them back the same way they have them.
All right. Go ahead and do you want to play straight cards with them, or do you want to try to cheat?
I'll try and play it straight since I really don't know the rules.
Okay, go ahead and just make a roll on a 20-sided, or roll a 1d100 for me. Put a slash before the word roll. There you go. All right. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me. All right, you manage to take 8 silver off of them, and they're like, "Woo!" Beginner's luck. They ask you to play again. Roll a d100.
Well, while he's getting shaken down by these halflings, I'd like to sidle over to the bar and talk to the barkeep.
He rolled a net 100. You clean the table and manage to take 11 gold total off of all of them, and you've cleaned them out, and they're like, "We feel we've been cheated," or they're like, "Perhaps it's elvish luck." Now, as you're talking to Haggis the bartender, what would you like to talk to him about?
Real quick, did we get a name for this keep, or is it just the keep to the northwest?
You want to know the name to the keep to the northwest? Oh, that would be the Lonely Torch. That's what Haggis says. He knows a lot about it.
Really? Could you tell me how to get there?
Okay. You're gonna go off the road. There's gonna be a lot of trees. But here's how you know you find the torch. There's going to be trees that are shaped like lovely ladies. You'll know them when you see them. Follow those trees. Keep headed north, and you'll see it. The top of a hill, sitting there, mostly collapsed. A lot of weeds in front of it, tangling weeds.
Have you been there?
Once or twice in my younger days.
When did it fall into ruin, or is it been like that since as long as you can remember?
You know, I'd say right about the time. You really want to know? All right. Sit down, let me pour you another drink. And he pours you a drink, and he tells you the tale. He goes, 10 years back, we'd had enough of that murderous blackguard, Sindel, and we heard rumors that he was hiding up there in that keep. So me and about 20 other men, we went up there and we burned the place down.
Mm. And
but allegedly we burned the place down.
Right. Of course. Impressive though, burning a stone keep to the ground.
Hey, no, I don't know if it was made of stone. It had a solid rock foundation, but it appeared that they had built the lower half stone, got tired of digging up rock, and then the higher parts were made of wood. I see. And rumor has it that Sindel's still there. I guess you didn't get him when you burned it down? Apparently not, if he's back.
While you were there, did you notice any back doors, side entrances, anything of that nature? Just the big front gate.
It was just an entrance to the front. There was a large iron door.
Excellent. Oh, thanks for your time, friend.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, my friend. Roll 20. Man with the Midas touch. Sorry. I'm going to put it in chat here in Zoom. All right, there you go, Mr. Askren. Is there anything else you'd like to do in town before heading out to the keep?
Is the sheriff still in the tavern?
She's on her way back to her office. So she has just left the front door.
I'll run after her.
All right, and she sees you coming, and she turns abruptly. She goes, "Oh, Bata."
Yes, Sheriff, I had a question. What more do you know about these night blades?
Well, they've been plaguing the roads, and I've heard rumors. Some of the farm folks say that their leader keeps a weird red bird on his shoulder, and I've also heard that the night blades often piss on their own boots. They've been seen doing it by at least 5 different people in the tavern, which I find quite odd.
Yes, that is very odd. Interesting.
But
So
that's
the-
about all I know.
These kidnappings, though. They must be pretty tough fellows if they're kidnapping folks from town.
They normally get them out in the farms. They get them when they're hunting locally, and they always try to pick them off whenever they're isolated.
Ah, yes.
So yeah, they don't make it right into town proper, normally on the way to and from, and they tend to look for those that are traveling alone.
Alone, yes. Right, good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then she continues her way to the office.
I'll head back to the tavern.
Okay. What would the rest of the party like to do?
I've since stopped playing cards, and I'm back to sipping on my glass of milk.
Yeah, you completely cleaned out everyone at that table, and they all kind of, they're all kind of like marveled at you, and because they're like, man, we thought it was beginners luck, and we thought he didn't know how to play cards. We even tried to razz him a little, but he beat all of us. And so you finish off your glass of milk. Hitesh, you have finished your drink. Bridget, you're negotiating terms with Haggis, exactly which limericks you'll perform tomorrow night.
Yeah, she's thinking real hard. She's like, I've just come up with a new one. It's so applicable. I'm gonna play it on our way out. It's great. It's gonna announce like our intentions and everything.
And it's great. And he goes, and there's a seamstress in town. I think we can come up with the best color to go with that those lovely silver scales of yours. And he's coming on a little strong too. He's a little forward. This Haggis.
Oh, you.
Hey. Bata, go ahead and roll another D100 for me.
And I mean, once I finish my drink, I'll rejoin Damien. And
All right.
just hey, done hustling there then.
Yes. And you're familiar. You recognize him. You haven't seen him in a while, but you recognize that the bartender. He is a second cousin of yours. Haggis. He's also known as Haggis the Flirt, and he is always flowery in language. So he didn't recognize you right offhand, but you recognize him. You remember him at your sister's wedding years back, and he made a fool of himself. You're surprised to find him getting honest work and not in jail.
Yes,
So,
quite surprising.
Yes. So, critter, and Bridget received word of the seamstress is going to tailor a special outfit for her when she does her performance tomorrow night. And Bata has learned a little bit more about the Lonely Torch, and Hitesh has discerned its location. Anything else the party would like to do? What now? What do you do?
I will suggest that we head there at night, so we can get a little cover and maybe catch them when they're unawares.
All right. Now, the halfling of the party and the dragonborn don't have dark vision. How would you like to travel to the Lonely Torch at night, though? You will have to go through the woods.
But, if someone else can see in the dark, I can just, hold their hand and they can lead me.
They're going to lead you, and you'll be able to see. It's not going to be total darkness. You can see it. Brian and I have had these discussions. You can see at night, Grant. You can see at night. Yes, you can see at night. It's just.
It'll just be a wee bit dark. It's fine.
Just don't run.
Yeah, it will be dim light though.
Is there any way we could use the?
I'll just wait a lot.
You want to use the wagon again?
Just to take us about halfway, we could finish expecting the rest of the way.
I mean, we could just
Absolutely.
we could just use some horses at that point. I don't know. We need the whole wagon.
Do we have two small creatures who could ride on the back of the horses? Because I know there's three of us who are medium sized. Only one that's small.
Well,
You like to on a horse?
the halfling's small. He could tuck behind someone.
Well, I'm sure the sheriff would
turn
be
into a horse.
happy to lend us some horses.
That would work.
She explains too. She goes, well, the horses have been in short order. And she goes, but I could see that we could get some nice draft horses for you. Let me see what I can pull. And then, you got here relatively early in the day, but by nightfall, she's got 3 horses. Daisy, Sassafras, and Angelo.
I call dibs on sassafras.
I take Angelo.
I want Daisy.
All right, Daisy, Sassafras, and Angelo.
Bata, who are you riding behind?
So
I'll ride with Bridget.
All right, that sounds great. We both won't be able to see a thing. It's perfect.
I think her tail might get in your way.
Oh no, you can sit on the tail. It's fine. I don't mind.
She can handle herself.
And as we ride out of town, I'll shake my tambourine and
sit
be
on
like,
her shoulders.
yeah, that could work too. She'll play a little.
Oh, Lady
ditty,
Bridget.
and she'll say,
Yes.
"There was a plague of bandits and thieves. They're kidnapping people with ease. We simply must stop this murderous plot and bring their bossman down to their knees." And then,
Yeah, and all the children cheer. They're like, yeah! And they get into it. Some of the Hitesh rolls his eyes preemptively. And you begin heading your way to the Lonely Torch. Now,
if she tambourines much past the outskirts of town, I'm going to tell her to stop.
oh no, I stop once there's adoring fans.
Okay.
I'm all about the fame.
all right. So as you're heading off into the night, you do navigate through the woods. Bata, why don't you make a nature check for me to see if you can spot these trees that look like lovely women? With advantage.
Oop. Is that the wrong slash?
Probably. I don't see anything.
Yeah, that's the wrong slash.
That's the wrong slash. That didn't work right. There we go. And advantage, right?
Yes. Do you have any modifiers for nature?
I unfortunately do not for nature.
Mm.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Apparently you don't need any, and you point out, and they describe the trees as lovely ladies, and you notice they're not so much trees; they're more like bushes, and they kind of look like little halfling women. So when Haggis described the trees as lovely ladies, he was describing smaller trees, and you discern them, and you notice that a very clear path, uh, essentially a thoroughfare, begins to emerge in the trees and leading up a rocky slope. And at the top of the slope, you can see a a a broken down watchtower that you assume is the Lonely Torch. And everyone, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh wow.
Oops.
Enough people have rolled high that essentially you can see the moonlight is reflecting off of violet and green tangles leading up the path of the slope, almost the entire hill. And there are large stone statues standing in the vines. You can tell they're statues because they are much larger than even a dragonborn or a half-orc in the statues. And what would you like to do now? But you've definitely come to the clearing, and you can see the torch. There's no signs of lights on inside.
Do I recognize these vines?
Nature check for me.
I'm gonna tie up the horses.
17.
This is tangleweed, and you know that it is poisonous, and it definitely is an ill weed. And you also notice that there is a shambling mound, not nearby, but off on the far side of the hill, that seems to be lurching about,
Listen here, laddies. This reminds me of a time
minding its own.
when we were out on a patrol in the North Farthing, moving through the woods at night. There are these tangleweeds all over the place. Be very careful, they're poisonous. I think these are the same ones.
So don't trip over them.
Stay far away from them.
Well, they're covering the whole hill. Make a survival check.
Let's go +3. Ew, not good.
Good. Yeah, and you know the poison can be treated with medicine, and that it lasts for a while. And the danger of it is, if you do get poisoned and you fall down, the vines will eventually consume you. Well, that's about all you know, and it's covering the road and covering the slope, so there's no way to get around it clearly.
How about if we scout all around the tower? And watch out for the assembly mound.
Yeah. All right. You don't draw the attention of the shambling mound, but it appears as you circumnavigate the hill, there's not much of a way around the vines. Let's see, what's everyone's classes real quick outside of Bata?
I'm a
We
monk.
have a bard. We have a
Ranger.
monk. Was that a ranger for the elf?
Yes.
Why doesn't the ranger make a survival check now? He examines the plant and thinks back to he's seen this before, and he knows that tangleweed can be repelled with urine, which might explain why the sheriff said that the bandits are often seen pissing on their own boots. All had plenty to drink.
I was gonna say, I'll uncork my wineskin and just take a real deep draft, and
It's been
then
a couple of hours.
excuse myself as I go ahead and.
What? That sounds unsanitary.
I'll soak
sterile.
my foot wraps there.
All right. Do you soak anyone else's? Come here, I gotta pee on you.
If anyone else needs it, I'm willing, but
Fully loaded. Make a Constitution check. No.
Gus,
Let's
that's
see where
what I'll
pee
do
on their
it.
boots.
I will.
All right.
Yeah, I do as well.
All right.
I will too.
I give the Dragonborn an extra fuel.
Oh, what are you? Stop it!
I'm just making sure you have what you need.
I know I can't aim as well, but it's not my fault.
It's the tail. It's
Throws off the whole schematic. All right. So with your freshly soaked boots, the tangleweed departs from your feet, and the stench is not too bad. In fact, half-orc urine has sort of a fragrant aroma.
it's all the junipers.
Yes. And you are free to go up the slope if you'd like, but what would you like to do? There are no signs of movement or life at the top of the hill.
I would like to approach carefully. And
So in what way would you like to approach carefully? Are you walking slow?
so I'll try to pick my way between the statues and kind of stealthily,
Okay.
as well as that can go there. And I'll forge ahead of the party by 40 or 50 feet just to.
Okay, yeah, and no rolls needed. I'm just going to assume that
Sure.
It's a passive stealth with advantage. Because the tangleweed is sort of departing from you, which makes some noise, but
Okay.
you're going up with the party. As you approach, are you going alone? Is the rest of the party following behind? Which is the rest of
I'm
the
gonna follow with them.
I'm following.
I'll bring up the
Okay.
rear.
As you come to the top of the tower, the large iron door that used to be in the front of the keep has completely been knocked off its hinges. And there's a thin path leading up to this door. And just above the door, there is a large stone gargoyle whose eyes kind of are darting about. And he's like, Guess! Guess! And he sort of speaks up. And he's like, what brings you to the tower? As he's calling out to you. And you notice that there are 2 sleeping guards within. So,
We're here for the surprise party. Shh.
and then he goes, oh, I love parties. It's been a long time since I've been to one.
Oh, don't worry, we'll save you. We'll save you some of the refreshments and stuff. We'll bring it back out here, but we gotta be quiet because it's a surprise.
Make sure it's liquids. They broke out my tongue. And you do notice his tongue has been snapped off.
Oh, that's terrible. I'll make sure it's liquid. Don't worry. What it?
All right. Let me Well, the guards are still asleep. He hasn't quite woken you up. There's 2 guards. Yeah, they're essentially sleeping at the gate. What would you like to do as a party?
Are they obviously? I mean, I know they probably don't wear like a name badge that says "Hi, I'm a bandit," but are they obviously like ruffians?
In what way would you try to discern them as ruffians? Like, describe to me your.
Well, we saw the bandits on the road. So, are they wearing similar types of clothing to them?
Yeah. I mean, these look more like they're huddled up and they've got cloaks wrapped around and they look like sleeping men. Now they don't have. I will tell you this: they don't have any discernible, like, say, military insignia. They do have spears that they are carrying. They are wearing what looks like chain shirts. You can kind of get some glistening of the light off of them. You can see that they are clearly wearing chain clothing. But there's no, like, say, mark or insignia that the people on the side of the roads, there was no uniform to them, and there were no stamps on their heads. But if you had to guess, they are living where a famous murderer used to live. They have guarded the pathway up here, and if you had to take your best guess, you do smell piss on their boots, because there's a difference in the fragrance. So if the bandits are seen pissing on their boots, it's fair to assume that these are
I hope we
bandits.
don't get mistaken for bandits because we pissed on our boots too.
How close are we to them?
They're about 15 feet away, and they are
15 feet.
unconscious.
Okay. All right. Who's the sturdiest of the 3 of you?
The dragon? No,
I don't know if that's true or not because she's a
The
bard.
Define sturdiest, like hit points or armor class.
I mean, strength.
Oh, I have 10.
Mm.
It would have been an 8, but I'm a dragonborn. Also have a 6 wisdom and a 9 intelligence.
she's my favorite.
Okay. Well, whoever seems the sturdiest, and I suppose that would be the dragonborn. I'll kind of quietly indicate that we should just go, like, gag these guys and tie them up. I don't think we need to kill them yet, and they might be useful for
I
information.
agree completely.
Alright, and I'll pull out, like, because I have, like, a performer's pack, I'll pull out some of, like, the random, like, socks or something from it.
Of course.
We can use these!
Yeah, and I mean, we probably all pretty much have
Your
rope.
magician
So.
scarves that you just keep pulling out and coming out again and again and again. Yes.
Yep.
Who's gonna do the tying?
I'm not very good with knots, I have to have help tying my boots.
Oh yeah, I'll tie if I need to. I'm not sure. Are we planning on using the new rules for tying?
No, I was just curious who's gonna be doing the tying. And
Okay.
are you? Go ahead and make a stealth check just to try to do it without getting caught. I assume as
Oh,
adventurers
nice.
you know how to tie knots.
Right.
Except for me.
Except for her, she.
I only know how to
It's
do, like,
always just
the
a
fake
bow.
knots.
She's got to do high wire acts and stuff. That's some nodding.
Oh, I don't do the height, I'm afraid of heights.
Oh boy, of course you are.
But I do the trick knots, so they always come undone really easily, so I'm not really good with the real knots.
Oh no. That's why she's not in the tightrope act.
Yeah.
All right. So you very quietly tie up both the guards. They are gagged with the dragonborn's which are, awkwardly shaped.
Very long.
They fit perfectly. Yes, very long and forked at the end. But you managed to tie up these guards very quietly. What do you do now? And you notice as you come into the room, it's just broken up down here, and there is a stairwell leading downwards.
Okay. How involved is the gargoyle in some of this? Does he show any interest at all, or is he just like whatever with these guys?
He can't move anything other than his mouth and his eyes.
So he didn't even
But
see
once
us
you
do it.
walk past- No, he didn't see you do it.
Got it. All right, and I'll look to our performing lizard there and say, do you want to see what the gargoyle knows before we see what these guys know? He might be a little more forthcoming.
He was really nice. I'll talk to him. Yeah. Aye.
Oh, welcome back, he says. He's like, hey, how you doing?
We gotta keep it quiet. So, we're new, and we were wondering if you could tell us anything about, like, how many people are in there. We got to, make sure we have enough cake for everybody.
Let's see. There's 7? I don't know. I lose count.
It's okay. I lose a lot too. Counting's not my strong point.
Where's mine? I usually use my fingers, but the magic's wearing off of me, so I can't use them.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I know. I'm worried I'm just gonna wake up one day and just be a statue. How boring would that be?
That would be so boring. Pigeons would poop on you all the time.
Alright, let me roll. Yeah, roll. The bandits haven't woken up at their chit-chatting back and forth.
All right, but okay. Thank you for your help.
Wait, the ones we tied up, are they still asleep?
Yes.
Yeah, you did it very well.
Wow, we are good.
All right. Well, I'll go.
Well,
look for
how'd you
your
roll
tongue.
for it?
I'll look for your tongue inside. We're gonna go. We'll be back later.
Thank you. And if you find it, you can keep it. Yes, I'm no longer attached.
Is there any light coming from up down the stairwell?
There's no light. It's fairly late. But there's no light coming from the stairwell. It's dark down.
Okay.
And it gets darker.
Excellent. Okay. Then I'm going to brusquely with my quarterstaff wake one of the bandits with a blow to the head. He is still gagged, I believe.
And like.
Yes. All right. You've roused him awake, and he's in pain, and he's like.
Quiet, or I will just end you.
He stops.
Excellent. We need to know how many of you are in here. Someone get behind him, and he can use his fingers to tell us. Fingers. No more talking.
You're freeing his hands?
No. He can point fingers, but his hands are bound at the wrist, so he can still use his fingers. I'm not freeing
Are his
those up.
hands in front of him or behind him?
Behind him. I said someone get behind him. And
I'll get behind him.
Of course you will.
He holds up three fingers.
I think it's 7.
Oh, that's
Wait,
right.
wait,
You
wait.
can't count.
Yeah.
And I'll hold up like this many.
Yeah.
3 more? That's it? You're sure? And I'll hit him again, just a little bit.
Make an intimidation roll.
Sure. Oh, not as
I'm
good.
proficient in that.
I'm proficient as well, believe it or not.
He's nodding. Yeah, he's nodding. He's nodding up and down, up and down, up and down. Yes. And he says, and he's kind of mumbling at you, and it's kind of like, well, what is it? And then he's trying to speak out more, and then you can kind of hear him saying out, 10.
10. Then why'd you only hold up 3 fingers?
And he looks very disappointed in you. And there's like
Oh,
a
wow.
pain look in his eyes. And as you examine his hands, you see he's only got 3 fingers.
That would have been nice to know there,
What?
Bridget.
I told you how many he held up.
Oh, next time I need to pick the bandit with all the fingers. All right. And I will tell him that if he stays here and keeps quiet, that we will let him live.
He nods up and down.
And then I'll say, why don't you just go back to sleep?
And then he starts snoring quietly. He can't quite sleep though. The idea of being bound and gagged with potential murderers above him is giving him a hard time.
All right. What do we want to do?
Let's go have this surprise party.
I'll like crack my knuckles. Surprise party, right?
All right. So, as you are you going down the stairs or are you staying in the room? I think right here.
Well, we should at least take a look around this room. Maybe someone could do that while we're interrogating this poor fool.
There's also stairs that go up to the top, so it goes down. It's kind of like it goes up to a higher level, but it's dark up there, and obviously it's broken down. And then there's the stairs that go down below. I'm sorry I didn't describe it clearly enough. Are you there?
Yeah. Does anyone have a preference?
I think we should probably go up first.
Okay. Fine
Up
by me.
first. Make sure no one's coming from behind us. That's probably a good plan.
So
You said there was an iron gate. Is it still there, or is it just broken?
completely knocked off?
Okay,
Completely
okay.
knocked off.
Okay, cool.
You assume that the villagers knocked it down when they burned the place.
Okay. We should have the gargoyle yell if he sees anyone coming.
Okay, hey, I'll go over to my friend the gargoyle. Like, oh, I never got your name. What's your name?
There he goes. Philip!
Philip. All right, Philip. Well, you know, I have a great idea. You welcomed us so wonderfully. You know, you're just such a great greeter. I feel like if anybody else comes up here, just so that they get in the proper mood, you know, you should just yell surprise.
Surprise!
Yeah, just like that. But if someone else walks up,
And his eyes kind of dart around, and since he can't move much other than his mouth, you know, he just kind of opens it, and he has this tongueless gargoyle smile, and you kind of discern that he gets it. He gets it.
all right, I'll give him like if there's any like debris on him, I'll kind of like wipe it off. It's like a thanks, and I'll dart back to my friends.
He appreciates it. All right, friends. Were you headed up the stairs or down the stairs?
It sounds like the ranger would like to head up, so I will follow him.
All right. So, so most of the walls, you know, they were wood and some stone. They've all crumbled, and you know, just it's decayed for a very long time. And there are signs of where there used to be fresco paintings on the wall, and then some of the portions there is moss on the remaining stones. And as you are headed up, it is then that you hear loud screeching and red bat-like creatures emerge from the moss and fly towards you. Go ahead and let's have Brian roll 1d4 for those behind. Our ranger in the front roll a d10. So Damien, go ahead and roll 1d10, and then I'm going to roll for these red things. All right, so it's going to be those in the back, these creatures, and then Damien. So Matthew, you can do what you've got to do for a second.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yes, no worries. And then Brian, what would you and Bridget like to do? Bata and Bridget. So there, you hear the screeching, and you see in the moonlight these red creatures, bat-like creatures, emerge from the moss, and they're all swarming towards the ranger in the front.
Do they look aggressive?
You assume yes.
Okay. Well, that's not great. Alright. We're trying to be quiet. Okay.
Roll 1d10,000.
Woo! Thanks, Anonymous.
3, 3, 4, 7.
I don't actually think I've experienced the wild magic table
Sorry,
while
what?
playing D&D. I
Yes. All right, let's see this. Roll it. 1d12. Ah!
I've got a giraffe tongue now.
Oh. Just falls out.
Ugh.
She goes, ah! And she screams, ah! And it comes out. All right. So, what would Bata and Bridget like to do? Because you get the first move.
I think you're
Brian,
muted.
you're
What to?
muted. You've lost audio. We've lost him.
No! My halfling buddy. My other blind in the night buddy.
There we go. How's that?
Hey!
Okay, you're back. I was gonna say, I was like, oh well, you know, I've had you as a dungeon master. He obviously doesn't want to do anything. All right, what's your armor class?
So are there some within range?
How far away are they? That's a good question.
They are about 10 feet from the closest point, which would be our ranger friend. And for you all, it's 5 feet for each of you going further back. Now there are people in the way, and these are tiny things, so it's not like they're a bunch and it'd be easy to get them all. These are tiny creatures, so it'd be like a swarm of flies almost. Not as small as flies, but you get the idea. A swarm of bats, maybe little ones, fruit bats, and they are flying towards. I'd say there's probably for Brian, there's probably 3 hexes worth, and these would be meter hexes, coming down in a line towards them. But you are on stairs going up, and they're nearby, so a little difficult to snipe them, given the number of bodies in the way. But you could always try.
Okay, I'm going to use my halfling nimbleness to get by everybody up front,
You can. Yeah.
and I'm going to shillelagh one of them.
Aha!
The lily.
Crack them. Armor class 14. Yeah, you definitely shillelagh that guy.
Nail
What's
it.
your damage?
3 points.
All right, you totally pop one of those sturges that are flying down.
Alright,
Bridget, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna yell. I'm not gonna yell at them. I'm gonna be quiet. Because I'm smart and it's a surprise party. I'm gonna look at one of them and say, "You're not important enough for a specific insult." I'm gonna viciously mock him.
All right. Let's let me see if they save. They get a -4 to this. -1. It helps if I do a D20, not a C20.
Oh, they just saved.
They make their save, and they take half the damage, rounded down to 1, so it's still alive. And then I'm going to assume, if Matthew's not back yet, that he's going to attempt to squeeze past the ranger and make an attack, followed by a monk attack. I'm just going to assume he's at +5, so he hits one, and then with his bonus action, he hits another, so he beat armor +14 on both times, and even minimal damage he would pop, so he pops 2 sturges. So I believe 3 are down, 1's at half health, and now the sturges attack. So All right, so one attacks the ranger. He misses. One attacks the halfling. I believe that's a hit. One
22,
attacks the dragonborn. That's a miss. One attacks the half orc. That's a miss. One attacks the bata. That's a miss. And the final one attacks the ranger, so that's a hit. So I believe, was that bata got hit once and the ranger got hit once?
I believe so.
All right, so that's 5 points of piercing damage to each of you, and you are now attached. The Sturge is attached to you.
And out of curiosity, would we have gotten what was called a short rest while at the tavern and in the inn all day? From our recent fight?
I will assume yes.
Okay.
Sorry, how much damage did I take?
You didn't take any damage, but you did kill 2 Sturges.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, I assumed you would have popped them up, so you did not get hit.
Okay.
All right, so now it is the ranger's turn. What does the ranger do?
You said one of those Sturges is attached to me?
Yes,
Like, where on my body exactly?
your throat.
Where? Can I grapple and try to pull it off? Or
Yes, make a grapple roll.
is that athletics?
Yes, athletics versus his acrobatics. Go ahead and roll again. Tyrol, let's just do it again. Tyrol, let's do it again. They're having like this, epic fight. Aha! You managed to pull the Sturge and you have it. And if you'd like, you could just squeeze and pop that sucker in your hands. Would you like to?
Could I punt it?
Yes. You punt it and it just pops. Precious blood splatters on the wall. It squeaks as it pops. Now it is back to Bata's turn. Bata, what would you like to do?
This reminds me of a time that my patrol went into a cavern, and we had a whole swarm of these bloody things down on us. But we had a wizard with us then. Did burning hands, fried them all up again. And I'll pull this one off my head.
All right. Go ahead and grapple.
Oh man! Oh, now this is attack, right?
Yeah, you can have your luck that.
Well, it's a special attack, so yes, you can use your luck.
Yay!
Halfling luck.
Up arrow.
That's
will
much
let you
better.
reroll. Okay, so yeah, you pull the Sturge off. What would you like to do?
I'll just toss it down the stairs.
All right, you chuck them, and down it goes. It starts flapping around, and
Plump, 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 plump.
yes. Well, yeah, you chuck it, but it starts to take off and fly again. All right, it is now Brigit's turn.
I'd like to insult the one that he threw down the stairs towards me. I'm gonna
All
say,
right, go ahead.
is that your face or did your neck just throw up?
Well, it makes it save. So you failed to pop another Sturge, and he. Actually, I'm gonna say no, he doesn't pop. He's at half health. He doesn't. All right, so
I'll get one eventually.
all right, yes, she's just like softening up the Sturges.
I'm getting used to like the new tongue, it's putting it down for me.
Oh yeah, because in case Matthew didn't hear, her tongue grew 8 inches because of
Very
a wild
nice.
med- all right, and it is Hitesh's turn. What would you like to do? There's about a swarm of 5 Sturges within striking distance.
5 Sturges left.
Within striking distance, there's about 6 remaining.
Okay, then I will channel my key and just start punching everything within range of me. After I bring the quarterstaff.
All right, so that allows you 3 attacks, correct?
Yes.
You hit two Sturges. Go ahead and I believe you're gonna pop those two. Yeah, so you pop two.
Okay, and then because of my drunken swaying while I'm striking, I will actually carry myself to behind them.
Okay. You are now up, and you've managed to get behind the Sturges.
And that'll be my turn.
All right, now the Sturges go, and the Sturges are all jumping on the monk at this point because he's gone up and made the biggest scene. So his armor class is 14. One Sturge, it looks like, hits for 5 points and has attached to you.
Are there still 5 of them up there?
Yes, there are. In fact, there's actually no. You're right. You popped 2 of them, right?
Correct.
So there'd be 3. So we'll just take the first 3 rolls, but then there's a 4th one, so we can take the 4th roll. So there's 4 remaining in the room. So one managed to hit you for 5 points.
Sure.
Apologies for the last one. And with that, it is the Ranger's turn.
How many are not? Do one attack to them?
One's attached to them, and the rest are swarming around him, trying to attach to him.
Okay, I think I'm gonna make a longbow attack.
At this range, it would be at disadvantage because they're so close to you.
I'll make a dagger attack then.
Okay. You do not hit. The crabby dice. It is now Bata's turn.
Okay, I'll shillelagh again.
All right, take a crack. You miss. Bridget?
Alright, is there any, like, that one that got thrown down the stairs that saved my saving throw? Is he close to me? No?
Yeah, he's close to you. In fact, his little sturge buttocks are in your face as he's
I'm gonna try a different tactic, instead of using my mouth, I'm gonna try to use my rapier.
Okay.
Oh, and I miss. I'm just like, whew.
That's a miss. And then Hitesh, you are up.
Sure. So I'll grab the one off my neck.
Okay, make a grapple attack.
And I'll just pull it off with one hand and pop it, and then follow my martial arts on the closest one to me.
Cool. Yeah, and go ahead and make another martial arts. Yeah, you totally hit that guy, and pop that one too. So there's 2 remaining in the room. They make attacks on the ranger at this point. So that's the hit. And a rolling dice, a hit. So 2 of them attached to the ranger. He loses 10 points of 10 HP total, and it is his turn now.
We also got a $15 donation from Donathan Fry, who says, a nat 20 to Lindy for being great and heart the awesome December St. Jude charity event. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the $15. Lindy, go ahead and take a nat 20 for yourself.
Yay!
Well, thanks, Donathan. I feel
Thanks,
so
Don.
bad for picking on him in all those games of. What a nice guy. He's actually a great writer. Quick segue. He does a number of web comics, and I'm a big fan of his work. Yes, it is back to Bata's turn.
Oh,
Or actually, it's the Ranger's turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I have 2 attached to me right now, right?
Do it. Yes, 2 are attached to you.
Is there a way to grapple both of them, like one hand on either?
Not quite. You could get one or the other.
Where are each of them on my body?
One is on your abdomen, and the other is on your bicep.
I'm gonna take the one off my abdomen.
Okay, go ahead and make a grapple. He's still on with the nat 20. And let's go ahead with Bata's turn.
I'll go ahead and try to pull the one off the ranger's belly.
All right, make a grapple check. You do. You pull him off. And if you'd like, you can
I'll just
squeeze him a bit.
twist his little head off.
Yeah. Yeah, you just pop his head off. All right. It is now, there is one remaining, and it is Bridget's turn.
Is it the one next to me, or is it the one on?
It's on his bicep.
Okay,
You could try to stab him.
I don't want to stab his vice. How is he look? How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? You look like you've had the life sucked out of you a little bit there.
In his throat. Yes,
Brenna?
literally.
You doing all right? You know.
There was a scourge attached to his throat. It sucked him as if he was a goat. It got him real.
I haven't seen a lot of
pale,
goat
and now
sucking,
we'll
but I'll
drink
take your
ale.
word for it.
That's yes.
All right.
And the scourge is now shot loot.
Yeah.
Alright.
If he's not feeling very well, I'll give him a cure wounds.
All right. Yeah. So you heal him up 11 points, and it is now Hitesh's turn.
I will go up to the ranger and pull the scourge off of him.
All right. Go ahead and grapple him. You do it. You pull him off, and you pop
And
out
I'll
the scourge.
just like real aggressively, just one-handed again.
Its head explodes, and the ranger's blood splatters about the room. So you've managed to kill these sturges. Both guards downstairs are awake, but they are tied and gagged, and they're not making that much noise. You assume one warned the other.
Allow me to interject for a second. Is combat's over? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think some loot is lying around the room. Finley Shards comes in with $120 donation, saying,
Nice.
"Well, if we're matching donations for the kids, the Legion and Team Human has to help a magic item for each of our players."
Nice. Everybody, roll me a. That is awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Finley. Finley, one of the
Yes.
most generous donators we have seen in this entire event, and bringing courtesy or bringing the love from the Lauren Legion. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Let's have everyone roll me a D100.
Guys, if you are loving the charity support, go ahead and drop some ED loves or any heart emote you have in chat. Just let's show some love here. We can't even.
I can't even. No. All right. So let me pull up. I can't even pull up my tables. All right. Let me get my magic items. Pull up my charts, and we're going to choose a fun table because it's a one shot. This is. All right. So. You get a potion of superior healing to the ranger. Lindy gets a chime of opening,
Ooh.
to open, which is great because she's a bard. She can play it to open. Yeah.
But
Yes.
can she open hearts with it?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, you need a can opener for that.
Bata gets a potion of diminution, which is hilarious. He's civil anyways. And Hitesh gets a spell scroll of fireball at 4th level.
Woohoo.
Ooh.
Wow, awesome.
Yes.
Does
Hey.
oh, we've got a bard. Oh, awesome.
Aye, we've got the bard. It's me.
I'll trade you.
Well, you can always use it. You can just, you can always try to use it. It'll be an Arcana check against the spell level. And
Yeah, I'll trade with you there.
I mean, it is a musical instrument, but I do already have a triangle, and if you want to make a band with me, I suppose you'd need something to play.
I'm already regretting this, but I will trade her. Did you say 4th level fireball?
Yes.
For a chime of opening. Okay.
All right. So you have made some trades, and you found some loot strewn about the room. And there are stairs that go down. There doesn't seem to be much else of interest up here. Apparently, just the sturges that we're waiting for you.
Well, all right then. I guess we're going downstairs for the surprise party.
Does the ranger stay in the front?
Yes, I will.
And who's taking up the rear?
I will again.
All right. Bot
Don't
in
be
the back.
second to last. It'll be the same party.
Oh, like a reverse size chart going down the stairs.
All right. Yes. As you head down the stairs and descend, let's pull up my second map. So as we look in roll 20, and I save some changes, we go down into this area. It's broken up, shattered wood and beams. There are no there's no one in this room at this time given the hour, but there is a stairwell that goes much deeper. There doesn't appear to be anyone in here, and there is a faceless statue of a knight standing on the back wall. What do you do?
Faceless is in the statue never had a face, or the face was broken off of it?
It's clearly been broken off.
Okay.
They're just breaking everybody down here. This guy's tongue, that guy's face. It's terrible. Well, I'm going to look for like a seat. You said there's stairs leading down.
There is a long stairwell leading down.
Well, I guess that's our way to go.
Do you descend the stairs, party?
Does there seem to be any traps since I'm leaving? Can I check?
Go ahead and make an investigation roll for me. As I check roll 20. You don't see any traps on the stairwell leading down. None that you can see.
Well, then I'll have to lead the way then.
All right. Leading down. Describe to me how you descend the stairs there, Damien. In what manner do you go down?
Is there a banister?
There is.
Then I hold the banister while walking down.
Oh, I'm disappointed. I was hoping you'd slide.
I thought he was going to too. He's so safe. Let's do a roll.
I'll slide down the banister.
All right. As the party descends the stairs, there are some lanterns lit down here. There appears to be 2 bandits awake, and the rest of them appear to be sleeping. There appears to be 4 sleeping, while 2 are on watch. They're talking, and they go, "Halt, intruders!" as the Dragonborn comes sliding down the banister, and they're like, "Whoa!" And
I mean, they have to be at least a little impressed.
yes. So why don't we have?
Can I slide down the banister?
Why,
All right, your time of thieving, murdering bandits of plague bearing ill will are over, and like try to intimidate them.
they're clearly intimidated, but why don't we have Hitesh roll a d4 for me?
Sure.
Bridget roll a d10, and then I'm going to roll for the bandits.
Logos first, right?
Lows go first, so
Ooh.
and we'll do heroes before them, and then so the sleeping bandits are they get to go first, and they are no longer sleeping because of the loud noises have they're awake now, and they're not even that groggy because they had just barely started to go down for the evening. But they are all prone on the floor to start this, and there are 4 of the 2 that are up. But we will let. It sounds like everyone but Bridget gets the first move. And the bandits that were on the floor, they're using their movement essentially to stand. So they're all on their feet now. So you have 4 bandits on their feet, and then 2 others that have risen up. So what do you do, my dudes in the back? Everyone sans Bridget.
How far up the stairs are we?
There's about 15 feet more stairs to go down.
Okay. I guess I'll just run in there then, and just start swinging. I'll run in and just lay into the first one with my quarterstaff. One that just got up. He'll seem probably the most defenseless.
All right.
2-handed on the quarterstaff.
Yeah, you definitely hit him. For
Does
9 points.
Does that take him down, or is he still looking at me?
He's still up, but he's definitely busted his nose up.
I'll continue my momentum around for a kick, but I'll miss, I think.
No, you definitely hit on the kick as well. That finishes him off. Describe to me how you finish off this guy.
So yeah, I'll bring the staff around 2-handed, baseball bat style, and then as I use my momentum, I'll carry around with a back heel kick to the head and drop him, and then I'll give like a shit-eating grin to everyone around me.
All right, that's great. So, all right, the Bata's turn.
One of the guards that was up.
What's that?
One of the guards that was up. Is he within 15 feet? Can you hear me?
Okay, you're going after him?
Yeah. Shillelagh.
Let me double check. That's not enough to hit him, unfortunately. All right. And now let's do Davian's elf.
From 15 feet away, can I anchor in the hallway in order to get a clear shot down the bottom?
You could definitely shoot at least one of them
Okay.
without too much difficulty.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull for my longbow.
Okay.
Ooh.
Critical fail and a critical hit on the same roll. But yeah, you don't hit, unfortunately. There won't be any fumble table. Missing in this dire situation is bad enough. All right, so now we're going to see the thugs that were up are going to go, and they are shooting at Bridget with their heavy crossbows.
Oh, stop.
One misses, one critical hits her. For 20 points.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I'm down to 1 hit point.
All right. And then, with that, they drop their heavy crossbows and surround her, and that's where they move. So they've essentially engaged with her, but they've pulled out their maces as if to rough her up, and but they don't get an attack. Now it comes back around to the group of 4 guards, or the group of 4 bandits. So these bandits are going to draw their scimitars, and one's running up to attack Bridget. That's a hit. 4 points, she's down, right? Another one
My big
is
8-inch tongue lolling out the side.
another one's charging up to Bata. That'll be a hit. for 4 points. And a second one is hitting Bata. That's a critical hit. So... seven points. So that's 11
okay.
Bata total. Yes. And now it is you know what? Well, Bridget, we skipped you, right?
Did you skip me? I thought I was last.
You were last, but did we skip you?
I think you
I
did.
think we went to the guards before we did. So let's go back to you having 1 hit point, and I apologize.
Okay.
Let's see what you would have done. I run up the stairs. No. What do you do? Because you probably can get something else that could change the course of this. You have spell slots.
Yeah, I was probably, because I was down to 1 hit point, I was probably going to heal myself.
Okay. All right.
Give myself
go ahead.
a little second level cure wounds there, just to whoop.
Do that. Yeah, so you go back up 11.
19. Second level.
I rolled really well. I rolled max.
Very nice. Very nice. 19.
Ooh.
All right. So now the onslaught of the guards. So they're running up to 2 attacks on her. Let's see what happens. She gets critical hit. So you got hit by a critical by them. On what actually, and that's 2 hits too. So 1 hits you for 4 points, and the second one hits for 10 points. So that's 14. What are you
down
at?
to 6.
Okay, you're down to 6.
Not
The
unconscious.
third goes up to hit Bata. He misses. And the last one goes to hit Bata and also misses.
Are there still 4 of them? I know I dropped 1. I try to keep count here.
Well, there's 6. There's one of them that you. Okay, yeah, you definitely knocked out 1. So there's 5 remaining.
Okay.
Not all of them are created equal.
Right.
All right, so there are 5 remaining. So now it is going to be everyone but Bridget's turn. So Damien, what would you like to do first?
The one that critically hit Bridget, where is that?
Where did it hit her, or are you able to shoot him? He's nearby. You could shoot him if you wanted to.
I guess what I'm gonna do.
All right, make your attack. Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Roll damage. All right, 8 points of damage. So he's still up. Next, Bata's turn.
Bata is going to rage and wild shift.
All right. Okay, because you're like a barbarian druid, right?
Yep.
Now, is wild shift the action and rage your bonus action?
Yes, it is.
Ah ha ha! One of these tricky Brian Ross builds. All right. Yeah. So, what do you shape into?
Direwolf.
How did I know? Maybe ask me questions the night before. All right. So he just incredible hulks, and like the guards are like as they're surrounded by him. I guess he's surrounding them now because they're little. And now it is Hitesh's turn.
All right, I'm gonna move up to engage one of the bigger baddies that were clubbing on Bridget there.
Yeah.
And just lay into him with a quarterstaff, followed up by a flurry of blows.
All right, make your attack. You definitely hit. 2 hits.
That'd be 10 total.
All right, 10 total. So, all right. Okay, so next it's their turn, and we're going to see 2 of the big ones are making attacks on Bridget with advantage.
Oh.
So a 20 will hit her. And then so she gets hit for 5 points. How many does she have?
I have 1.
Second one attacks with advantage. That looks like a hit. So
What?
and then they have multi-attack, so they turn on the monk with advantage. 16, will that hit him? I believe it does.
It does.
For 5 points. And then the second one attacks with advantage. Misses, though. So it is now Bridget's turn to make a death saving throw.
Okie dokie. Hey, that's a success.
It's a success, so she's not dead yet.
Yay! Yet.
Guards are swinging on Bata the wolf. What's Bata's armor class in that form?
It's now 14.
All right, so he gets hit twice for 8 points total. And it is now Damien's turn.
Can I go ahead and longbow attack the same guy again?
Absolutely. That's a hit. Roll damage. You kill him. You finish him off. The longbow pierces through his chest, and he falls dead to the floor. So that leaves 2 of these larger thugs and 2 guards remaining. Hitesh, what would you like to do?
Was the one that he just fell the one I was attacking?
No.
Okay. How's the one I was attacking looking?
He's looking like he's fighting you. It's dark. He's in your face. Hasn't broken a sweat. No.
Hasn't broken a sweat. Okay.
Let's just put it this way. On a scale of 1 to 32, he's a 22.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'm good with fractions, so that works out. Okay, then I'll just keep hitting him then.
All right, keep doing that.
Just a regular
You hit
set of
him.
attacks.
Yeah, you hit him twice. So is that 15
Total. Yep.
Yeah, he's feeling about a 7 out of 32 now.
Okay, good.
You were to tell the drops of blood that remain in his body equals a total number of 7. All right, let's Bata the dire wolf.
Are there any still around Bridget?
Yes, there are 2 nearby.
Is one of those one who shot her already?
The ones that beat her down? Yes.
That's the one I'm going for.
All right. As you go for that one of them's going to be able to make an opportunity attack on you as you move, but he completely misses. And go ahead and make your attack. And I believe you might even be able to knock him down using your dire wolf abilities.
Yeah, but I missed.
Yeah, you didn't quite hit him.
Am I next to that guy? Because you might have the pack tactics.
Sure.
That's true, yep.
Let you attack with advantage.
That's
There it is.
better.
Yeah, there you go. Roll damage. You eat him!
It's actually 13.
Yeah, so, that's enough to take that guy out. He's feeling like a negative 6 on a 32. Yeah, so you managed to take that one out. Now, the next one does... I believe it is his turn now, and he's going to make his attack on the monk with advantage, because there are still guards nearby. So that's enough to hit the monk for, I believe, let me look, 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 remaining guard takes his swing at the dire wolf, totally misses, and it is now Damien's turn. Oh, Bridget, make your death saving throw.
All right. That's another success.
That's 2 successes. All right. Go ahead and take it away, Damien.
Is there anyone I can still see from the stairwell?
Yeah, you could shoot 2 of them. Let's call them Big Guard and Little Guard.
Okay, I think I'm gonna shoot Big Guard.
All right. Make a roll, attack roll. You hit him. Roll damage.
You're like Hawkeye over there, just pew.
Yeah. But just know I'm keeping track of every arrow. No. 8 points. All right. All right. Let's Mr. Hitesh.
Seeing that my wolf compatriot here is a fairly distracting presence, I'm actually going to attempt to stabilize the bard.
All right, make a medicine roll for me. I'm gonna determine that she is stabilized, and she is no longer dying. Bridget, go ahead and roll 1d4 for me. In 4 hours, you will wake up, unless they manage to rouse you, which they might be able to. But there's only one way to do it, and after combat, I'll describe what that is. Okay, so not in my campaign. True love's bone setting. All right. Let's Bata the wolf. Go right ahead.
Yes.
You hit. Roll damage.
That's actually 12.
All right, 12 points. Were you attacking Big Guard or Little Guard? Because you've already killed one. All right. The funny thing is, Big Guard actually is the weaker guard. I just like to describe it now. All right, so Big Guard's going to make his attacks now. Got to remember that he actually would have gotten multiple attacks on the monk last time, but he actually hits the monk. That's with advantage. He hits the monk for 5 more points of bludgeoning damage, and then attacks the monk. Critical hit, 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
That will drop me.
All right, so he's down now. And the guard attacks the wolf. 20 to hit.
That hits.
And he hits for 4 points of slashing damage. And it is now, let's go ahead and have Hitesh make a death saving throw. So that's a success.
Just enough.
And let's have Damien, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna use my longbow to attack the smaller guard.
All right, make an attack roll. You hit. Roll damage. Four points. And so yeah, your arrow plunges into him, blooding him up. And now it is Bata's turn. Bata Wolf.
Okay, big one's still up, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll hit him again.
Make an attack.
Oh,
You know.
well, I get to reroll ones.
Halfling
You're
what?
not. But you're not
Oh,
in a halfling.
but I keep my bonuses, my modifiers, don't I?
Do you? You just swapped them out for being a wolf, right? You get all those wolf bonuses. What do you think? How would you rule this if you were running the game? I'm just curious.
I'd say
Raw
look it up.
says
What
he
does it
gets
say?
it. Raw says he gets it, but
Then let's go
you
with
can't-
Raw.
Okay.
Well, no, I've never had this come up before. I'm just like, well, if he suddenly gets all these other abilities, would that mean he's
Yeah, Wild Shape says he gets to keep all his racial and class
okay? Then
features.
he's
That's what I
totally
recall. I just couldn't see it.
yeah.
Yay!
This is why Matthew's part of this game. Now,
Happy
did
to
you roll
help.
two? Did he roll 2 crit? Okay, no, he rolled it. Okay, you totally hit.
Okay.
Roll damage.
That's 14.
That's enough to put him down.
Nice.
Well, there's one guard left who's going to he's throwing down his weapon and surrendering. And with that, excuse me for 1 second. I will be right back.
I suggest no prisoners on these guys. We've already got prisoners,
We already have 2.
and these ones dropped 2 of us. So
Us, yeah.
yeah.
If I had gone first, I would have fireballed, but the things got sticky.
Would it be smart to interrogate them first prior to offing them?
If you want to.
I mean, I really don't care, but I mean, if it could help figure out where people are, maybe get some advantage of some like sneak attacks.
We do have the 2 guys upstairs.
We do, but thankfully they're bound and gagged. Hopefully, still.
Well, so there were 10. There were 2 guys upstairs, and 6 guys here is 8. Do they mean 10 in addition to them, or do they 10 total?
That's a very good question. Judging by this map, we still have 1 room to go into.
Right.
At least. So.
Would it be wise to get a short rest then?
Yeah, probably a short rest, or at least get some. Because I still have 3 first level spells. I can pop some heals on people's.
The short rest. Do you have Song of Rest yet? I forget.
I do.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a
So
third
we
level.
can use some hit dice too.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume the party is all rested up and healed, correct?
Yeah, how'd you know?
All right, what went down as I was out? What has the party discussed?
We're
Strategy.
definitely planning on taking a short rest.
Okay, this is a good place to do that.
Well, yeah. What's the room look like?
Okay, so the room itself, there's bedrolls, which used to have guards in them. There's carnage strewn about. You notice that on the floor there is a covering of a. It looks like there was a hole cut out in the floor here, and there is a dark and dirty tunnel going deep below, but it is currently covered up. There's on the walls, there's frescoes drawn on the walls of hooded priests. And it looks as if this was possibly used as a worship room at some point. But most of this room has, it's just in disarray and collapsed. This is typically where the bandits sleep, but there is a door at the end of the hallway, or the end of the room, but there's also what you've managed to find, a covered hole going downwards.
Does the covered hole smell of bandit urine?
It most definitely does not.
How about the doorway at the end of the hall?
You hear some chanting on the other side.
So we need to well, okay, I'm unconscious, but we need to regain consciousness here prior to anything else happening.
I'm going to assume that everyone's up with 1 HP.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. And we can take a short rest, you said?
Yeah.
Here? Alright, well, I'll play my beautiful song of rest. Very, very like just tapping on the tambourine a little bit, just like some kumbaya kind of stuff.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Hey,
Yeah, let's go.
Mr. Bandits, you suck. Everyone gets 3 in addition to whatever they roll for hit dice. Which I will roll all of mine.
All right. So, how we looking there? As far as so you're resting. The chanting stops after a while, while you're resting. And as you finish your rest, a the door opens. Cloaked figure wearing a gold mask emerges, and he has 4 additional bandits with him in tow. The one with the gold mask has a red scourge on his shoulder. And he simply speaks out, "Intruders!"
I fireball him.
Okay, make a Arcana check.
I want to use my nat 20.
And it's a critical
Yay,
hit.
charity!
To roll 16d6 damage.
We're not near that, right?
Yeah, I make sure it's like behind the room a little bit because I just opened the door.
No. So you know what? Let me look at my map. Hold on. In fact, when you describe, when you like describe the room, it's like I should be like, yeah, the room looks like this, and yeah, it looks like that. So I would rule that you guys are far enough away. Let me. So 16d6.
Yep.
The bandits go
I'm
up
like-
in
I'm like-
flames.
Not again!
Is all those bandits just they're just scorched, and like the one with the gold mask, he's just vaporized. The 4 other ones are vaporized. The whole building starts to catch on fire because it's stone. You're baking like an oven.
Okay, and so to help counteract a little bit of the fire, I'm gonna go, achoo! And like just sneeze a little ice.
Your snow sneeze.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's my dragon
that does it.
breath.
Yeah,
Like-
you stop it with your little snow sneeze. She ices it off, which freezes their like charred corpses on the ground, and like.
Can I grab the golden mask real quick?
Yeah, it's kind of hot, but now it's nice and cold. And as you pull it off, you know, there's a it's not an old man's body that you remove it from. It actually, the man's face was protected, the rest of him was burned. It is a young man underneath. Now, parts of his it's too grotesque to describe how his flesh peels off as you remove the mask. But anyways, yeah, you remove the gold mask from the man, and you do notice that he was carrying a black short sword. And the pommel, go ahead and make a history check to tell what nation it comes from.
Ooh, can I make a history check? Because I'm a bard and I know things.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked her where she thinks Magna's come from.
I've got no idea!
No.
But wasn't that really cool? We'll make a limerick about that right now.
All right. You've toasted them though, but the blade itself is black. It's black with silver flecks on it, and it looks familiar. In fact, I'm gonna rule that Hitesh, go ahead and make a history check with advantage.
Oh, I'm sure that'll go very nicely.
It might.
Oh wow, that's
advantage.
better than I deserve.
The pommel is of dragonborn make, so this is probably a sword from the nation of Banner, and it feels very fine, very well crafted. What would the party like to do now?
I'm gonna throw it down at the bard's feet in disdain.
Well, don't cut my toes off.
Well, it's still in the scabbard, I assume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it, can I Arcana check it and see if it's like +1 or anything like that?
Well, you assume that it's magical, but you would have to take some time to attune with it to figure out just what sort of magic properties it has, which would take time. Now, there's still the covered hole, and there's the room that they came from. What would you like to do?
Let's look in the room they came from.
All right. Well, there's 2 hulking statues, and both of their faces have been cracked off as well. And then there's also a well in the center of the room that goes down. And there is a throne on the far wall. outside of that, the room itself doesn't appear to have much of interest. Would have been a good, actually, I was going to say, would have been a good room for a boss fight. In fact, I think I got a picture for it. Let's see if we've got a picture of it. Let's see. Da 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 da. All players, save changes, show to the players. This is the room.
Ooh.
There's the
That's
room.
a really nice room.
Yeah.
That's
Fly,
some-
flourish, fantastic adventures. Yeah, so that's the room, but there's just a massive well going down.
How deep is the well?
And,
Can we tell?
you can't. It goes far beyond your dark vision.
Got it.
Actually, though, I think I've got a.
I've got torches. I'll just light one up and throw it down.
It drops. It drops deeper and deeper, and then disappears in the darkness. And you eventually, it fizzles out with a splish. You hear. You can hear it, but you can't see it. So it must go down very deep. That's the wrong map. So what would you like to do? This room appears to not have much else of interest in it.
Well, we can go check the hole.
And I'd like to search for secret doors.
There's no secret doors in the room. No roll
Okay.
is required, but there is that hole which was hidden. It was found, though. Sort of the side view of the keep with all the rooms you found. So, who would like to go down the hole first?
The hole in the other room.
We all look at Damien.
I'll happily get out there.
Not me. I learned my lesson sliding down the banister. Don't do that again. Not me. I still felt really cool though.
Is the hole like a bit of a trap door where it has stairs, or is it...
No. It's just muddy steps down, and it's pretty shallow. The halfling fits in here without too much of an issue. If you could mute yourself, there's a lot of noise coming over on the line. Thank you. Yeah, there's it's just a muddy, winding pathway, and as you go down, there's a large, dark pool of water, and there is an old man tied up down here with a bag of rats. The rats are running in and out of the bag, and every now and then the rats run up and bite the man's feet, and he appears to be in pain. What do you do?
It's horrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
For the ones who are on the same page there, Bridget. Is the bag squirming? Like there are rats in the bag?
They're running in and out of the bag. Every now and then they run up, they start biting on the man, and he screams in pain.
All right. Well, Bridget will go and tie him, and I'll just start stomping on the bag.
I'm really good at untying knots. Tying them not so much, but yeah. Now I'll go and start untying.
Ta-da! And then
Ta-da!
yeah, he's free. You know, he rolls over and he looks up. He's like, more people coming to torment poor old Sindel.
Wait a minute.
Zinda.
You're the mercenary leader.
That's right, the murderer.
I was many years ago. I quit that life. It was a horrible life.
I'd like to insight check him.
Do.
Mm.
I believe ya.
His face is high.
No, I don't.
He pulls off his shades and he leans into the camera and he goes, yeah. By your lizard tongue, you believe him. You're like foot long.
My giraffe lizard tongue.
Yeah, dragonborn tongue, not lizard, but yes. You do believe him.
So who was upstairs then?
Yes, imposters. They heard of my tales. They became drunk on the stories. And a child of mine sought me out for most of his life. When it turned out I was no longer the creature of legend, the Nightblade, he chose to become it. And when I told him I didn't approve, he kept me down here for the rats and said one day I would approve. What has become of him? Is he there? Have you reasoned with him?
Well, his face is still intact.
On the back of the mask.
See? Whoa.
Yeah, I pull up the mask and I'm like, this guy's...
Dies of a heart attack.
Oh, that was an accident. No.
If he was upstairs, he's no longer there.
He
Well.
couldn't handle the heat.
He starts crawling up the mudslide. Do you fall after him?
Sure. I saw Borat on the way out.
Yeah, the entire conversation, I've just been using my quarterstaff to jam
Yeah, you're
rats.
just
It's
Like
like,
whack-a-mole.
I'm just
with rats.
pithing rats as they go
and
by.
you're quite good at it. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm an
the
expert
rats
rat
too.
pither.
You know, yeah, and I almost feel like you should train these rats into being like your fighting force, your Teenage Mutant Ninja rats.
Well, unfortunately, I've killed most of them by now, so
Yes.
it's probably.
The one remaining.
I'll go ahead
Yes,
and help him up.
Yeah, I'll help him up.
Yeah, you help him up. He sees the scene and
How
he goes,
how injured does he look? Like I know his feet have been nibbled for
Hold on.
quite a lot.
he's in fairly bad shape.
I'll give
but-
him a little bit of like, here you look like you need a pat on the back. Here, have a hug, and I'll give him a cure wounds.
a dragonborn hug, and he's like, I feel 10 points better. Fix every one of his vertebrae.
like
He asks what you think. Should he go to town and turn himself in for all the crimes he committed in years past, or should he wander his way back to the north?
He should turn himself
I
in.
ask him by what code of ethics does he himself operate?
I really don't have much of one. I mean, I lived outside the law. Now I mostly just eat when I'm hungry. I sleep when I'm tired. Get eaten by the rats when they're hungry.
Then I would suggest that you go back to town and seek justice.
Oh, what do you think they'll do to me?
That's a good question.
I'm sure house arrest. Yeah.
All right.
We can
does the
put in
party
a good
want to-
word for you, saying that you've changed your ways and stuff.
We don't
Yeah.
know that he's changed his ways.
I believe he is.
Tied up and hit.
He's going up the steps, and as he gets up there, there's two guards still tied up. And they kind of look at you.
Oh! Before we leave, can I search for Philip's tongue?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't quite find Phillips, but you do find a tongue from one of the shattered face statues. Looks like it'd probably be a good fit.
Okay. I'll bring up like Philip. I found you a tongue. I don't know if it's the original one.
Let's try it on.
All right, and I'll try to I'll stick it.
And it's about 8 inches too long, kind of like yours. And he's like, "We're twins!" And then he gets a silvery golden voice. He's like, "Oh well, well, this tongue tastes delicious." And surprise!
Surprise!
And, yes. He goes, "Well, I see you found Master Spindle." Spindle's like, "Hi, Philip." And then he's like, "Haven't seen you in a while." And he's like, "I know. I've been in the mud pit." And he's like, "Well, hope to see you again sometime." What do you do with the guards that you've tied
We're
up?
taking them back to town so they can
Absolutely.
verify our story about how they took him, and and how they were terrible
Understood.
people.
All right, you march back to town. The sun is rising, and the people of Fairbrook are starting to awake. Where do you deliver these guys? To the sheriff, or to the keep, or to the tavern?
I would suggest the sheriff.
Sheriff.
The sheriff. Okay.
All right, she hears. She says they'll have to stand trial. She sees that you are paid the reward that she were promised. The day itself is uneventful. Most of it's being spent preparing for this big to-do that's going to happen at the Ever Shady Tavern. and the crowd folk gather except for the prisoners. And I'm wondering if Bridget will perform her great limerick numbers that she's promised the townsfolk.
Oh, of course I will. I've written some bit while we were doing this whole, escapade to kill some bandits.
All right.
All right, I've got like a good 2 verses of just solid new material that I've like whipped up in the past hour and a half.
All right. Lay it on us.
All right, so she'll pull out her tambourine, start dancing, and she's going to say, "We went to the bandits' cape at night while they was asleep. They surely did pay for their sins that day as their bodies we left in a heap." And then I do like a dance interlude.
Yes.
And then I go, "The bandit leaders, they tried to catch us all by surprise, but one fireball incinerated them all. Now their corpses are toasty and fried." Now, do some more tambourine. And I put like
The
flirt.
crowd goes wild. They celebrate. Drinks are shared. The mysterious gray man with the special wine serves a free glass to everyone. Strangely, it tastes. Some of it tastes not quite ripe enough. Some of it tastes perfect, and some of it tastes just a little bitter. And he says it's hard to get it just right. With that, tips are thrown around. They celebrate the brave adventurers, and that is the end of the story.
Woohoo!
Nicely
Why
done,
don't we
everybody.
go around cast and crew? Did we enjoy ourselves today?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
Oh, definitely.
A good time.
Well, Matt, why don't you let us know where we can find you online? Tell us a little bit more about Legendary Pants, and thank you so much for your organization's generosity of matching donations today.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, like I said, my name is Matthew Stanford. I'm one of the developers for Legendary Pants. We develop materials for D&D 5e, as well as we run a blog with some opinion articles here and there. Our big piece that we're working on is called Code 2050. It's a cyberpunk rule set extension for D&D, all using the 5e rule set, basically Shadowrun, but without the obnoxious, complicated rules. You can find us at legendarypants.net and on Twitter, legendary_pants. We also have a Twitch channel where we stream tabletop twice a week, and that is also legendary_pants. So if you give us a follow on some of those, that'd be much appreciated. And thank you guys for doing this and supporting a good cause. And we're happy to help.
All right, Mr. Damian Phillips. I want to know what you're all about.
Nothing much. I just like playing D&D occasionally.
All right, yeah, and thank you so much for volunteering to play. Found him on the Matt Colville subreddit. He was one of the many Cole villains and Cole villagers and Cole Vecna worshippers that came out of the woodwork to help. And Laugh Love Lindy.
I had so much fun today. Thank you guys so much for having me. Loved the adventure. Sorry, but not sorry for ruining your boss fight.
No, I was like, they have the fireball. And here's the coolest thing about that. It shows the power of viewer donations and how it can impact the story. And to be honest, I thought it was much cooler. There was like fireball, and it was like, yeah, I'm so glad that they just leave this scroll of fireball lying around.
But yeah, you can find me online at /LoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, basically everywhere. I stream Dungeons and Dragons on my channel, currently running Out of the Abyss, some video games, some cosplay making streams, and I am on Encounter Roleplay on Wednesday afternoons playing Call of Cthulhu, and also on Sunday evenings on Grimjack21502's channel playing Pulp Cthulhu. So.
And Pulp Cthulhu, check it out. She is killing it, as are all the cast members of that show. And Mr. Brian Ross.
Yeah, I am on Twitter. I've also got a YouTube channel, Brian1187. On my YouTube, I leave campaign reviews, that kind of thing. We're currently going through Princes of the Apocalypse. And so I've got some review of the scenario itself, plus our adventures there. And I recently did a review of the RuneQuest Role-Playing in Glorantha manuscript that came out at Gen Con this year, which hopefully in like March will get in hard print. The new scenario for that, because I am a RuneQuest guy at heart.
And if you watch his campaign diaries, you'll probably hear him say, "That darn warlock in my campaign," because I'm one of his players, and I try to throw shenanigans as much as possible because I don't get to play D&D as much as I run it. Let's turn the time back over to Mr. Askren and let us know what else you got going on your channel today and throughout the week.
Hey, I'm back on screen. What's going on, everyone? That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I got to sit back during these things and just chill, do the music. I played the DJ. I have been your DJ for the evening. So if you like the combat music and all the other stuff, you can thank our good friends over at Sirenscape and Tabletop Audio for providing all that good stuff. Huge thank you to the players. You guys were a lot of fun, and a ton of love to everyone in chat. Guys, if you haven't already, let us know what you thought of the session this morning in chat. We love to hear your thoughts and feelings and impressions and all that stuff, and make sure you show some love to all of these people. Check them out, thank them for being here, especially go check out Legendary Pants and thank them. We are wrapping things up here with a grand total of $207 raised this morning for charity. That is before any kind of changes there. So thank you guys to everyone who donated. You guys have been amazing. That brings us up to currently a total of $2,396.69 of our. So Grant knows this. You guys may not. Earlier, when Grant and I were talking about how we were gonna do this event, we decided to set a monthly goal of $2,000 for ourselves, and not only have we crushed that, but we're sailing well past it. So I guess now our goal is $3,000. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Guys, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for joining us for another DICEMBER community game. Grant has been so amazing that we are doing, what is it, 10 of these over the course of the month?
I'm doing a lot of sessions. I'll be back on Saturday with the cast of WebDM and some other players from the tabletop community. We're doing a lot of sessions.
Yeah.
I'll be running Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. A lot, and it's one of these things. If we feel the need where we need to throw in some more ad hoc sessions, and you like what you saw today, let's get it out. And also a shout out to my friend Mike Shea from slyflourish.com for publishing the book Fantastic Adventures, which I use to run this from. It's just 2 pages of prep and notes, and you have everything you need to run an adventure.
Fantastic, awesome stuff. And yes, we have a ton of adventures, a ton of one-shots. There might still be some room in the community games if you guys want to get in and play. You can check in with either of us, and we'll be happy to help you with there. Speaking of DICEMBER, well, what is this? Let's talk about this event and what else is going on here, because first of all, this is not the last game of the event. We have our major games, which are happening on Fridays, including this Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern on this channel. You will see another kind of big spectacle game. I don't know what's going to happen. It is called the Obelisk of the Sky. It is being run by my good friend Brad Wodo. He is a streamer, a dungeon master, and a video editor for YouTube. He is going to be in the DMC. I am going to be playing, and the players are as well Kiwo, who is a great streamer and a friend of mine, Tiger Writer, who is an awesome roleplay streamer, Tuesday Gray, who is another D&D and variety streamer, and then Vertigo Gaming, who is a YouTube Let's Player. So it is going to be a crazy cast, and Brad has insisted that we are all going to die many times. The only thing I know is that when we die, he has pre-made characters that we will have to play. So I don't know how that's going to work, but I suggest you guys tune in for it. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a ton of fun, and of course, raising money for charity. You can fuck with everything. You guys know, every $10 you donate here gets you an entry to win some cool prizes. I have an entire room full of stuff. We have, like I said, we have D&D books, we have Pathfinder books, we have other game books like Blades in the Dark, and I have some special edition Jetpack 7 books. We have wooden products from our sponsors, Elderwood Academy, Wormwood Gaming, Easy Roller Dice Company, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, some people have donated artwork. So some amazing artists are going to be donating character commissions that you can win, all kinds of crazy stuff. And the only way to get all of that junk, which I need to get out of my house, is to donate to the charity. Thank you guys so much. Of course, if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Askren. I am the host here on the Exploding Dice channel, where we do live D&D like 5 times a week right now. If you want more D&D action, I highly suggest you guys come back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern and check out Razor Coast, our all-female pirate campaign. It is a goddamn blast. The cast is great, and the chat helps me prep it, so it's gonna be a ton of fun. And then, of course, we have lots and lots of other D&D content throughout the week. Oh man, I am tired. It is about my bedtime, nap time, I guess. And I think we should probably let everyone get out of here. But before we get out of here, again, a big thank you. We're gonna do what we always do around here, which is we've had so much fun and we've had so much love and support that we are going to, of course, go pass the love on to someone else who is streaming. So let me just go check my my directory here as I find someone else we can drop a host on. I don't think anyone's doing anything in the D&D category, so let me see who's doing something in our friends category. Let's go hit up Kin. I haven't said hi to her in a while. We're gonna go drop the love on to Continue. She is a friend of mine and an awesome variety streamer, and so I think she will super appreciate the love. Unless anyone else has anything you wanna plug you wanna say last minute, I think we're about to get out of here. So, nope. That is fine. Okay, so then you guys know the drill. As always, we're going to drop the raid in just a second. That is going to be it for us. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time. But as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because he might defeat your entire boss fight with a fireball. Take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
And